In this video, we're taking a look at 15 things you might be doing wrong in Grow a Garden. Whether you're a total beginner or a pro gardener, there's a possibility you could be making these common mistakes that could really be affecting your garden. So anyways, let's get into the video on 15 things you might be doing wrong in Grow a Garden. Number 1. A common mistake I see people make is not inviting their friends. You see, when you get done harvesting and getting ready to sell, go ahead and invite some friends. Because for every friend that's in the server, you get a 10% boost on shekels. Meaning every time you sell, you get 10% more shekels. Because everyone knows Grow a Garden is way more fun with friends. So, next time you're about to sell a bunch of your crops, maybe consider inviting some friends. Number 2. Is it just me, or does it feel like every time I leave the game, Sam just so happens to restock the best seeds in the game? And the same thing goes for the pet eggs in the gear shop. And you don't want to be just sitting there waiting for something good to come in stock. But I'm about to show you a very useful tip that almost all the pro Grow a Garden players use. What you want to do is head on over to Discord and create an account if you don't have one already. Then you want to join a seed notifier. And I'll leave a link in the description if you want to join the same one that I'm in. So what you want to do is when you first join, select all the seeds that you want to be notified for. And it doesn't stop there because you can select weather, gears, and eggs. So when you're just chilling or playing Theme Park Tycoon or whatever game you like to play, you will get notified whenever that item comes in stock. This is probably one of the most useful tips and is a literal game changer. Number 3. Another mistake I see people do is neglecting their pets. What they'll do is buy an egg, take it back to their garden, wait a bit, then hatch it, put it to work, and then nothing. They just sit there, starving. Now, don't worry, your pets won't die if you don't feed them. Well, not in Grow a Garden at least. Now, nothing bad will happen if you don't feed them, but it will affect their aging and their ability, and you can be missing out on your pet's full potential. So it'll probably be a good idea to keep them well fed. Number 4. Something I recently discovered is that you can buy multiple eggs. You see, you can only buy one egg from that slot, and then you have to wait till the shop refreshes. But I found out, if you create an alt account and give them shekels, you can have your alt account buy an egg also. So therefore, you can have more than one eggs. And if you get enough alt accounts and enough money, you could get 3, 4, or possibly 100 eggs. And it could really increase your chances of getting that sweet, sweet golden dragonfly. Number 5. A feature in Grow a Garden that people seem to ignore is the daily quest. You see, if you go to the gear shop and talk to Eloise, I think I might be saying that wrong. She can show you your daily quests, and if you complete them, you can get 1 to 3 normal seed packs. And it is a possibility you could get seeds you can't get anywhere else. Number 6. Something people might be doing wrong is they go to the seed shop, check if there's any good seeds in stock, and leave, completely ignoring the less valuable seeds. And if you are a true pro to Grow a Garden, you would know to buy everything. Because you'll never know when a new Grow a Garden event comes along that requires you to plant exactly 111 strawberries. Hey, it might sound weird now, but when a moment like this happens, you won't regret it. So I wouldn't underestimate the beginner seeds. Number 7. Now, this is a pretty well-known tip. Who am I kidding? Almost everyone knows this one. Always, always attend the live updates because the owner likes to put valuable seeds in stock. And if you're a new player who can't afford the seeds, well, the owner likes to summon these admin-only weather events that have their own mutations. And at every live update, the owner does the disco event, which can mutate your crops and increase their value by 125, which is one of the most highest paying mutations. And sometimes the owner does free giveaways. You see, during the Worker Bee live update, they gave everyone in the game the cooked owl pet. So you get OP stocks, OP weather events, and possibly a freaking turkey owl. Not sure why I'm saying this tip, because it seems like everyone and their moms is at every live update. Number 8. If you're about to plant a bunch of your OP seeds, don't make this mistake of not using sprinklers. When you get around to cleaning up your garden, you want to make 2 empty lots. Well, I guess you could do 1, but I highly recommend doing 2. Once you got them ready, start planting, and try to plant them as close as you can to each other. Then, you want to place at least 3 basic sprinklers around the outside. And then place 3 advanced sprinklers kinda towards the middle. And finally, 1 godly and 1 master sprinkler. And try to make sure both the godly and the master sprinkler covers all the crops, if possible. Then you wanna leave for 1 hour. And hey, in the meanwhile, why don't you subscribe to StormBlox because it's free and it helps out a ton. Anyways, when you come back, you should find a cluster of OP crops, like this giant gold sugar apple and these huge moon melons. And doing this method is what almost all the pros do. And if you harvest at the right time, it can make you billions, which brings us to Number 9. A huge mistake that you can do is harvest your crops before they have a chance to get mutated. And using the Grow Garden Notifier, you can get notified whenever a weather event's happening, so you can be able to join and you just want to hang out during the weather events and let your crops become mutated. And make sure you use the favorite tool, because there's been so many times where I actually harvest a good crop while trying to harvest something else. Number 10. Now, if you have huge valuable crops, there's going to be some greedy goblins out there. And what's worse than a greedy goblin? A greedy goblin with Robux. An easy way to combat these little pests is by simply creating and joining a private server, because Grow a Garden private servers are free, so you don't have to worry about a monthly subscription. But I feel like a subspace trip mine might do a better job, just saying. Number 11. Now, this one I'm guilty of, and that's not doing limited time events. As you can see, I have not completed the Dino Quest, and apparently this thing is more valuable than the Candy Blossom. But please learn from my mistakes, because these limited time events are, well, limited. Number 12. Something you might be doing wrong is not using the right pets for the job. You see, there are so many pet combos that you can be using to get the most out of whatever activity you're doing. For example, if you're harvesting your crops, use the giant ant and snail, because the snail gives you a 5% chance of getting your seed back when you're harvesting, and the giant ant has a chance of duplicating your crops. And if you're trying to get more pet slots, you can use the capybara and the starfish, because the starfish is basically just a freeloader who just gains a bunch of XP, and the capybara will make pets not lose hunger within 15 studs, and gives them plus 3 XP. And finally, you can use the dragonfly and the mooncat, which I totally own, by the way, and are not images I got from the Grow a Garden wiki, because the dragonfly makes crops golden while the mooncat boosts the crop size. And if you have giant gold crops, it can make you billions. And there are a lot of Grow a Garden pet combos on YouTube, so I highly recommend checking them out. Number 13. Now, this one I am for sure guilty of, and that is just having a bunch of random crops in your garden. Yeah, you know the ones that just sit there collecting mutations. And if you're like me, who sometimes forgets about them, or just don't harvest them because you know they're limited and you like collecting crops and you probably don't know if they'll come back or not because they're limited, well, they invented this thing called the Reclaimer. If you head over to Isaac's Cosmetics, you can craft yourself some handy dandy Reclaimers. So now you can preserve your limited crops without the worry of losing them forever. Number 14. We all know the iconic "your garden grew while you were gone." Then you get flashbanged, and then it's like nothing changed. But there's a way to take advantage of this. You see, right before the screen flashes white, you should have enough time to equip some seeds. And if you plant them right before the screen flashes, it should grow the seed. This glitch is overpowered, but I see it getting patched in the future, so use it while you can. And finally, number 15. This is one of the most important tips of them all, and that is to just have fun. Because Grow a Garden is meant to be enjoyed at your own pace, rather than having a huge money-making garden or just a small one. Now, I know there's going to be people out there saying,
"Oh my god, this is the worst tip ever. I'm unsubbing and banning you because my dad owns Grow a Garden."
Well, then you're probably ignoring what the Grow a Garden description is telling you to do. And that was 15 things you might be doing wrong in Grow a Garden. Be sure to subscribe to StormBlox because it's free and it helps out a ton. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Until next time.